Hey everyone, welcome back to No Textbook for Life. I'm your host, Malia Johnson. Around here, we talk about the real life lessons school forgot to teach us, the stories, struggles, and surprises that shape who we are. Every episode is a little different. Sometimes it's just me, sometimes I bring on guests, but it's always real, honest, and straight from the heart. So get comfy and take a breath, and let's get into today's episode. Okay, today's episode is a special one. We're finally sharing the story of our home birth. This was my first home birth, but my second baby. And the experience couldn't have been more different from my first time in the hospital. My husband's here with me to tell his side too, what it was like to be my main support, what went smoothly, what didn't, and what we both learned through it all. Whether you're curious about home birth, preparing for your own, or just love hearing real stories of motherhood, we're diving into it all today. So before we jump into all the details of labor and delivery, let's start at the beginning, how we decided to have a home birth in the first place. Because if you told me a few years ago that I'd ever give birth at home, I probably would have said, yeah, right. But here we are 1 year later, and the home birth was very successful.
Yeah.
Thanks to me. I'm just kidding.
I did my part.
Okay, so why we chose a home birth? What made us decide on a home birth instead of hospital? And I feel like I'm the one that decided.
For sure.
So the reason I decided on a home birth instead of hospital is because, like I said, our first child was born at the hospital, and it wasn't a great experience for me. There was a lot of miscommunication between the doctor's office and the hospital that resulted in unnecessary shots and drugs and all sorts of things. I also felt that I had no say in anything. The nurses and doctors just kind of went against my wishes in that sense. So I also had a condition where my liver shut down with my first child, and it made life extremely uncomfortable and very traumatizing. So we actually put off the second child a lot longer than we had initially anticipated due to all the mishaps with our first baby. And so that's when I decided to start looking for another option for birthing. You were dead set on hospital, weren't you?
Yeah. When I pictured home births, I thought of 1800s. Everything goes wrong. The mother might not live. The child might not live. Um, and so I was pretty against it at first. I was actually very surprised when she said that she wanted to do it, and I was concerned for her. I was concerned for the baby. I was concerned because I wouldn't have that delicious hospital food. And so I tried to talk her out of it a little bit. But at the same time I was like, it's up to you. You're the one pushing out a baby. And then as we did a little bit more research, I definitely got more comfortable with it after reading like the statistics, meeting the midwife and seeing how knowledgeable she was.
Were you shocked that that was the option I wanted?
Yeah, I was pretty surprised. I wouldn't say like completely shocked, but I was pretty surprised.
Did it seem like something I'd do?
For sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't know, maybe. Tough like that.
For sure.
What? So, did you have any other fears or doubts
Um,
before?
Not really. Like I said, it was mostly for you and for Scotty, which we didn't know it was good if she was going to be a girl or a boy. So
Yeah.
Leah wanted to keep it a secret, much to my chagrin.
Well, nobody. Yeah.
Yeah.
A surprise, not a secret.
Well, yes, a surprise. It was terrible.
No, it was awesome.
It was terrible to wait.
I feel like fears and doubts that I had was just I like to be like super prepared and know what I'm getting into. So the more information that I have, the better I feel. And in the beginning, I didn't have a lot of information. So one of the fears, obviously, I feel like this main fear is pain tolerance, because with Della, I did have an epidural. Um, but I mean, obviously, that's not an option with a home birth. So that was more of a fear of like wondering if I could do it.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Yeah, that was a big one. Because I know how tough you are and how high your pain tolerance is, but there's definitely a big difference in modern medicine and someone basically handing you a stick and saying bite down, you know? So.
Yep. And that's how it goes, I guess.
Pretty sure she broke my hand when she was pushing, but other than that, no injuries.
Yeah, to you.
To me.
So how did our family and friends react when we told them?
I feel like for the most part they're really supportive. Um, to be honest, I think your mom was the one that was the most
anti home birth. But she had really hard deliveries, and her and my brother almost died. So she was like, "Man, you gotta be in the hospital." But she also explained that her hospital experiences in Washington were wonderful, and I was telling her like the experience we had here was just awful, and I didn't want to go through that again. Plus, my doctor retired.
Yeah.
So it was like either find a new doctor or look at other options.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, everyone we talked to was pretty supportive. A lot of my family were like, "Oh man, I wish I was doing that."
Yeah, that's true. I feel like a lot of my family was like, "What? You know, like you can do that?" You know?
Yeah, it's true. But
yeah, just having to explain.
Yeah, explain stuff and like the thinking and yeah, explain it about the midwife too. She was fantastic.
Yeah. What kind of preparation did we do?
Kegels.
Wow.
Just kidding. um, I don't know. I feel like we were actually really prepared, minus the fact that you thought Scotty was a boy. So besides that, we got everything. The midwife, we had to take birthing classes.
Yeah, that's kind of where it's leaning towards.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we had to take birthing classes. Aced it.
He almost passed out though, or threw up or something.
She was showing pictures of the placenta, and I did not do well with the placenta.
So another thing that they might do once the baby delivers is actually take your whole uterus out and inspect it. So you can ask them not to do that because that feels really wonky.
Yeah, they place your stomach.
Getting the placenta out.
See, we won't even have that option.
So there's the mom greeting the baby. Mom greeting the baby right immediately.
Anyways, not only that though, the midwife provided like 2 big binders worth of information, and the doula as well provided a little folder of information, and they really went through the stages of labor really well, and how like I can handle each stage and how you are supposed to support me in each stage. So there was a lot you didn't know, right?
Oh, there's nothing. It's a big shock going to the hospital the first time. and being thrown in, because you really have no idea. Like, obviously you learn in school about the birth canal and how a baby comes out and stuff, but that doesn't really prepare you for anything at the hospital. It's literally like, all right, Dad, come cut the cord, and that's about all you do there.
Yeah, you're pretty useless.
Yeah. So going to these classes, and they were super long. They were like
5 hours. So we took 2 classes, and they were 5 hours each.
wasn't it 3?
Well, they were scheduled for 5 hours.
Jeez, long time. Anyways, of these classes, but it definitely made me feel more prepared. I'm basically a baby doctor now. Got my PhD.
You didn't deliver the baby.
I could have.
Yeah, right. Oh, we also had a birth plan in place, as well as all the materials laid out on a table for like the last month of pregnancy, just in case she came 3 weeks early, or just in case she came early, which she did not. She came late. But at least we were prepared, ready, and when it was time for it.
Yeah, the midwife like gave us a list of materials, and we had those all laid out on the table, and we got food ready too. That was the other thing. We got like some food prep done, and then some quick, easy, healthy meals that I could make for Malia while she was resting, because you don't really get that after the hospital.
Right. So let's go into the actual birth story here. So, when did labor start? It started at 11, 11, somewhere around there. I remember getting a call from the doula around 8 p.m. and she was like, "How are you doing?" I'm like, just, wanting to be done. I was 3 days over my due date, so just kind of feeling defeated, and she just wanted to check in. So that was at 8 p.m. And then that night, it was a Sunday night, I believe around 11, I had like a little stomach cramp, so I went to the bathroom, went and laid back down. Half an hour later, had another little stomach cramp, and I feel like I didn't remember or really have I didn't go into labor naturally with Della, so I didn't know what to expect. I just felt like these cramps, went to bathroom, cramp, went to the bathroom. And then I think on the third time I went back to the bathroom, within an hour, uh something, well, not something, my water broke and tons of fluid gushed out, luckily over the toilet. And that's when I was like, my water just broke, and I know what it feels like, because with Della my water broke naturally too. And Colt was fast asleep, so I went and woke him up. It was 12:30 in the morning when I came, woke you up. What do you remember from when I woke you up?
Go back to sleep, woman. No, just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. Obviously, I got like almost a little bit of adrenaline going, so got up super quick. During that class, they prepped us on what to do, so we like went through the signs of what the first stage of labor was, and
Yep, which only lasted an hour.
She was basically through that. And the second stage of labor is when we were supposed to call the midwife. So I got on the phone with the midwife and the doula and told them that we thought it was happening now. We went through all the stages with them again, like all the signs of it.
And I didn't hear any of the conversations with the doula or midwife because I was in full active labor at that point.
Yes.
Right after my water broke. So I was like, I'm out of it. I gotta focus.
And we got in the birth tub.
Yeah, the pool.
Yeah. And so I called Eileen, Malia's mom, as well, who lives really close to us in our backyard. And so she came over, and we basically took turns like checking on Malia, helping her get stuff ready while the other one started blowing up the birthing pool.
Well, because Colt kept leaving me to go get everything ready, and that's when I was like, we kind of handed that preparation part over to Mom because I really needed someone with me to help me go through the labor pains. And you kept leaving me. That's all I remember. My whole labor, you kept leaving me.
I was getting stuff ready so the baby would be able to get in the pool.
You left me.
For a good cause. And then
You should never leave your wife in labor.
What?
Yeah, you can. Next time, you better not.
Aye, Captain.
Well, what else happened after that? And then they arrived, right?
Yeah, well, you were in the bed and you were laying on your side, and I was holding your hand and rubbing your back, getting you to breathe through it. And then the doula showed up first, and she came in, and for those who don't know, a doula is basically like a pump up woman for birth. It's like the best way to describe her.
She's definitely necessary.
She's there to like help Malia breathe through the stuff, get her whatever she needs, pat her dry with wet towels. And
just
basically
temperature.
Literally like a pump up woman. Yeah.
And she had a lot of techniques for pain.
And so I was literally just there, and I was super grateful that we had her, because I was just able to be focused on Malia instead of focusing on every single one of her needs. I was just there to be her support. So I was just sitting there holding her hand and talking her through it while she was doing all the technical stuff.
Which is crazy because we didn't, like, you didn't know what a doula was.
I had no idea what a doula was.
I didn't know what a doula was either. I just remember reading something that said, like, you want a doula because your midwife is focusing on the health of you and the baby, not focusing on, like, the other little things. Like, for example, the doula she knew techniques like by pressing on your knees and on your lower back. She was
like massaging her the whole time.
And she even like held my puke bowl and dumped it in the tub for me and would wipe off my face.
Yeah. It's like a boxing match, like the ref was the midwife and the ringside person doing the massaging and stuff was the doula. And then the baby was the opponent.
That's true. What surprised you most once it all began?
Several things. One, like I said, I already knew how tough you were, but being able to see you going through that and experience it with you, because I was able to just be focused on you, was a very neat experience. Seeing how amazing and tough you were. And then two, I felt very, I don't want to say like pioneering, but it felt really cool to be able to have the baby in our own home and know that like
our ancestors.
Yeah, our ancestor did that, and having that memory here in the home.
Yeah, because it's fun when people come over. I'm like, she was born right here in our living room.
Yeah, and then obviously I was super ecstatic to be a dad, and Della was just sleeping the whole time.
Yeah,
we were making quite a bit of noise. I was very surprised that she did not come out to see what was going on. But she literally,
She didn't sleeper.
Yeah, she slept through the whole process until Scotty was born.
Well, I even labored in bed right next to her, and she didn't even move. And our dog got to be with us the whole time, and my mom, and we had Della during COVID, so it was a much different experience. And in our small home, we fit the midwife, her assistant, the doula, a photographer, mom, you,
The
me.
bed, or the bathtub,
pool.
The pool,
and then we had Della and Duke, and eventually Scotty. So, okay. Any funny or unexpected moments you remember? I feel like the unexpected moment was finding out the gender.
Yes, I just got to say, I was the only one who did not give up on Scotty being a girl. Malia was like, he, and like was preparing all this stuff, and I was like, hey, could be a girl. Could be a girl.
Okay, well, here's the thing though, is Della knew that I was pregnant before we found out. Basically, she kept saying that she saw Jesus holding Dad's baby. And so we're like, oh, that's interesting. And then just a couple weeks later, found out we were pregnant. And so I'm like, oh, she probably knows what the gender is. And she kept saying it was a boy. So, yeah. But I guess thinking back on the actual process of, labor and stuff, I just remember moving from the bed to the couch.
Yes.
Laboring there in, the doula said I was in transition, which is the worst pain there is besides, I think, pushing, honestly. So that's when you're dilated to a 10. So that happened on the couch, and I was super, super, super uncomfortable. So they moved me into the pool, and immediate relief. I could take like a breath, it felt like. But the issue we had was keeping the pool warm.
Yeah, we got a shower head adapter for the hose, so we were pumping hot water in there. But the doula said that, or sorry, the midwife said that a pool that size, the hot water heater's not going to be able to keep up. So we had Eileen and the doula, and I think the assistant, which was Savannah. We're all in there, heating up giant pots of water. Yeah. Like boiling and then coming and dumping it in just to keep it.
It had to be a certain temp for when the baby came.
Warm for the baby and for mom.
Most of the baby.
Was it like a medium hot tub?
No, it needed to be like 99 degrees.
So like a really hot tub?
No, I mean, really hot's 104, I think. I'd say a warm, hot bath. But it just...
sounds relaxing.
It was fall. It was hard to keep it warm, and it was at night. And,
yeah.
Luckily we had a really warm fall that year, though. Last year. It's super sunny and stuff. So then when I'm in the pool, labor itself was only about, I was in active labor for 4 hours. Then I pushed for about 15 minutes, and Scotty came out. And she came out, what, backwards? She didn't come out in the spot that the midwife was waiting for. And she's like, where is she?
When she popped out, she basically did a somersault back, is what I think happened.
She went like in front of me. She was supposed to like go back or something. That's where the midwife was standing.
I can't remember. She scooted out the other way full show.
Yeah. And we also think that maybe she popped out with like a fist next to her face because she left a pretty big tear. Unfortunately. But when the baby arrived, physically, I was relieved. And like once you push that baby out, the pain is almost gone completely. Because like, I don't know. You just feel so much relief knowing that the baby's finally out. But I couldn't quite move right after she came out. I had a hard time like realizing what was happening, and so it took me a moment to calm down, and I felt like I was in shock for sure right after that, and I think people had to help me like actually sit so that I could hold her.
Yeah.
And emotionally, I just remember like shock and just like so grateful it was over. And then I completely forgot that we didn't know the gender either. So that was fun.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure your mom was like, so
Like,
what is it?
and I remember checking under her little towel, and I was like, I think she's a girl. And right then I said, I was like, I think she's a girl.
She was like in, I don't know, like shock or something. And I was like, did you see a weenie? Then it's a girl.
I don't know. I was so out of it. I checked again. I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's a girl. I'm like, I need someone to check. I can't like make this decision. So yeah, it took me a long time to like wrap my brain around the fact that she was a girl. And not that I was upset or anything. I just, in my head, she was a boy because of what Della had been saying. But we were happy she was a girl. I mean, we had everything girl stuff anyways. So it worked out. It was, and Della loves having a sister. Okay, what stands out most in your memory about that day?
Just the happiness and the pride I had in you, and the love I had for you and for Della and for Scotty. It was a very cool, amazing moment that I'm excited for again.
Yeah, are you sure? Because you don't do anything.
I work hard.
Stop saying that, because you don't.
In the beginning.
No, you don't.
For a couple seconds.
Bro, stop talking. You're making me angry. My favorite part was when Della walked into the hall and she was like, what the is all these people doing here?
Because she slept through the whole thing until literally
Scotty was
almost an hour.
No, she was 2.5 hours.
Oh my good.
She woke up at 6:30.
Yeah, crazy. And so she came out and we're like, Della, you have a sister.
She's like just so out of it, so confused. But she was so excited. She just, oh my gosh, she was so cute. I feel like she couldn't even contain her excitement.
No, she was very excited.
So that was very awesome.
Very pure.
So yeah, I mean, that's the birth story. And let's just go over that first week afterwards.
We have an amazing
community,
church group and community in general, and they brought us, and family and friends. They brought us too much food and too many gifts, and they're very sweet because they included like Malia and especially Della in the gifts too.
Yeah, I got mom gifts. Della got gifts. Scotty got gifts. Yeah, they have like an unlimited amount of blankets.
So I was happy.
Yeah. We had people bring over several meals, dessert.
It was almost too much food.
Yeah, and a lot of visits.
Crazy. Yeah.
That first week.
It was just very sweet. The outpouring of love was amazing.
And I think your mom brought over a ton of snacks.
Bunch of snacks.
So we had her. We didn't sleep.
Yeah.
Because we had her at 4. Della woke up at 6:30, and then I don't know. I wasn't tired at all. We were like so excited about this baby that I think we stayed up for like 24 hours.
Very much.
And Scotty was so aware, and she stayed awake quite a bit too. And she'd look around, and she was doing funny little things with her mouth.
She still doesn't.
Yeah, she still does. But it was so much fun because she was so interactive, whereas Della was not when she was born because of the epidural and all that craziness. So, I loved being at home though, and I got to be on my like own couch. Had
Watching
my
Mamma Mia.
well, yeah, we had our TV. It was cozy, familiar. I didn't have an IV in my hand.
Our own bed. That was the biggest one.
Yeah, our own bathroom. Like, don't have to go in a hospital room. We had everything we needed, and I had a friend of mine go into town 30 minutes away, go grocery shopping and bring us groceries for after we had Scotty too, and just a lot of outpouring of love and support. And that's just kind of how this community is.
Yeah, and it was one of the things that was most touching to me was that they included Della in the gifts too. Like almost every single one of them, without fail, brought something for Della, even if it wasn't like something super big. And I was just
and some brought big stuff though.
Yeah, some brought some big stuff.
I was like, holy
but it was just very thoughtful,
right?
In my opinion, because I wouldn't have thought of the other kids, but you know how hard it is for a kid having a new sibling and all the attention, especially that first week. Not all the attention, but obviously a lot more attention was on Scotty because her needs were more than Della's time. And so just having those gifts to distract her and to know that obviously she was still loved, thought of was a big one.
We also had an issue with clothing because we had some boy clothing, and then we pulled out all the girl stuff because we're like, oh, well, if we do have a girl, we're set. But when we pulled in all the bins of clothes, we realized that Della was born in the spring. So a lot of the clothes was for the spring and summer, not for fall and winter. So his mom bought tons of clothes. My mom bought tons of clothes.
I ran to Walmart and got.
Yeah, we had to immediately get some clothes.
Yeah, got a little sister and a big sister one.
Yeah. What were the hardest parts of that first week? It's probably harder for you than, well, me, besides like, the regular postpartum bleeding and stuff.
Right. I loved it. I enjoy taking care of.
You didn't sleep much?
Guys, the sleep's the biggest thing. I don't do well with not sleeping. I definitely am like have to have at least 7 or 8 hours or else I don't do great. So that was the only thing that was rough. Everything else was awesome.
Yeah, because you were basically like our nurse.
Yeah.
Our family nurse, basically, because I lost a lot of blood and it was really hard for me to get around. I could only stand for a few minutes at a time and walk slowly from room to room just because I get really dizzy and faint. But so I needed a lot of sleep to recover and help getting to the bathroom and getting food and my own water. Like I needed lots and lots of support. So Colt took care of me and the two girls in the household and everything for a whole week.
Was I the hottest nurse you've ever had?
Yeah. Of course.
You hesitated.
No.
She hesitated.
Wait, first of all the nurses were women. So
no.
I was going to say, of course you were. I was going to call you a bad word.
What was that?
It's me trying not to say dummy, but. Dude. Okay, stop talking. You're wasting time. Oh, I guess the next question was, how did your husband support you and what did he learn from that? There you go.
What did I learn from just the whole experience?
What did you learn from having to support during
one
that?
And I've said it before, I'll say it again. How bad you were. She was playing pickleball on her due date.
Yeah,
and
didn't work.
like actually moving
Killing
around.
it.
Yeah. And
I was hurting after that real bad.
so that was amazing. And we didn't touch on this, and I feel like we should, but the midwife helped a ton. Like the doctor said when she had that her liver shutting down, that she was gonna have that every
pregnancy.
Yeah, every pregnancy. And when we brought it up to the midwife was like, now if you have a good diet and high protein, and I was very skeptical of
And supplements.
Yeah, I was definitely like, oh yeah, the hippie lady says, even though she wasn't a hippie lady at all. But
No, she's just more natural.
yeah, but to my surprise, Malia she pounded the protein and had a really healthy diet. She didn't have any issues with it, which was really amazing to
Best
me.
shape of my life.
Yeah, amazing to me to see that the midwife was correct. Definitely knew what she was doing, and that boosted my confidence in her a lot.
Yeah, and she was the 5th one we interviewed, and she was the one.
Yeah. So it's very amazing experience. 10 out of 10. Do it again.
That's because you don't have to do anything.
I work hard. You just said I was a really good nurse.
Yeah, but you don't have to do the hard stuff. So how did Della adjust? I don't feel like
I don't think there's even really an adjust period at all.
I think she started getting a little whiny, not tantrum, but
Cuddly.
Clingy.
There you go. That's the word.
Yeah, she not whiny, but she got slightly more clingy.
Yeah.
But she definitely always wanted to be with Scotty.
Yeah.
She's a really good sister.
She is a fantastic sister.
Like today, was it? Yeah, today she gave Scotty a bath. Or it was yesterday. All by herself. Gave her a bath.
I thought it was this morning.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It was after Yeah, it was this morning. I just went in there and she's all bathed and got her out and everything. She's only 4. Yeah. So she's doing good. So how did it feel to be home together as a family in those first few days? Like I said, I loved being home. Loved it. So it felt good.
Yeah, I really liked it because at the hospital, you really don't see your kid that much, to be honest.
No.
By the time that
it was awful.
Yeah, by the time that the nurses do everything, which to an extent,
and they don't let you sleep.
Right. Oh. Let me see. Oh, I see. Because all the needles and stuff. That what you mean?
Well, in the blood, but they come in like every 30 minutes.
It was, yeah, I don't know. It was just very nice to be able to have that bonding time.
Yeah, and
you got
no one's gonna take.
Yeah, you got to hold her for like 30 minutes before we cut the cord, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like 30 minutes. Let the cord get all the nutrients.
I think it was about 15 minutes because it wasn't as long as we wanted.
But still, that's way more than the doctors do. The doctors say, here you go and goodbye. The
water in the pool is too cold, so we had to get her out. Is why we cut it earlier than we wanted, but normally they would leave it for as long as they could.
Yeah, and so being able to have that bonding time in the beginning was very special. I was just very surprised at how seamlessly we slipped back into it because it just felt like there wasn't even really that big of an interruption in our lives. Because, like, when you go to the hospital, you're there for 3 or 4 days.
No, most people get released after 24 hours.
Well, you were there for like 3 or 4 days.
I was there for 4 days because they kept messing up on stuff. That is why. Also, a big reason why we chose home birth was cost. Like, we knew we wouldn't be able to afford a hospital birth in the first place. And so we pulled all our savings and paid our midwife straight out. And That's how we were able to even have Scotty in the first place.
Yeah.
Okay, so what would you tell couples considering a home birth?
Do the research. I get
Yeah.
it's probably not for everyone,
Yeah.
but if it's something you want to do, pull the trigger on it. Don't hesitate. It was an amazing experience for us.
Yeah, but you do have to be in very good shape.
Got great shape. You have to be
have
like
to be
Malia
pretty
said.
healthy.
She was walking a ton. She was exercising. She was.
Yeah, I played.
We were eating
on a
so
basketball
good.
league
Yeah,
first trimester.
like we were both very healthy, especially Malia, and so you have to have that. And then if you don't really have a good community, it's definitely harder. And if you're not willing to work um, through it, like especially being like the dad, and
Yeah.
when you were down and out, I was like you said, I was the nurse for you and for Scotty, and for
and
I was checking her temperature. I was
and you took over the night shift.
Yeah, I did the night
slept
shift
all night long.
I did everything like that, which, like I said, I enjoyed doing that. It was very nice. I was able to have some great one-on-one time with Scotty and just appreciate you for all you did and stuff. So I loved it, but it is very hard. You have to be willing to do that, make sacrifices. So if you're willing to do that and you have a decent support community or friends or family, and it's something you
we're very fortunate to have family.
Yeah, family and great friends.
Yeah, friends should have become
Great
family.
friends and just great community in general.
Right. So what would we do differently next time?
Probably have a boy.
Bro,
um,
I want to get it done in 30 minutes, but let me just say random crap.
I don't really know, to be honest. I would probably sleep more leading up to it because we went to bed really late that night too.
We went to bed at 9.
No, we did.
Yes, we did.
There's no way.
Yes, we did.
Really?
Because she called it. I was going to bed so early. No, I would not. Like, I don't want to be told a due date because that was really hard mentally to know that I was going over. But knowing that I could go over, I don't know if it would bother me as much next time because the longer they cook, the better, I guess.
I don't know what I'd do different.
I feel like we had to go buy food. What we should do is actually meal prep meals that we could just throw in the oven. Which we didn't
freezer
do.
meals. That's true because we got snacks and we had lots of snacks. And
No,
then
you
we
had to go to Ridley's and buy steak, and you brought us burritos.
Well, that's because you wanted steak.
Well, we should have freezer meal steak.
We had all the stuff to make meals, but yes, we should have made actual freezer meals.
Yeah.
For it instead of me having to do all the prep work right away.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we didn't even use almost any of the stuff that we bought for like 2-3 weeks because of how many meals we were getting. So.
Okay, biggest lesson learned as a couple. I think for me, biggest lesson is like you really do have to rely on each other. And I feel like I was at 0% and you had to be at 100%. And then when I was like, getting better and better, then we were able to be more 50-50. But there's definitely times when you had to carry the whole load.
Yeah, it was really positive for us and for our relationship, I think. It's very positive.
Anything that strengthened our faith or changed our perspective on birth? I just gotta say, perspective on birth wise is just knowing that and having faith in my own body, knowing that we're meant, like we're made to have children, and that my body just knew what to do, knew what position to be in for birth and to breathe and all that. So birth definitely was a lot better experience and really a lot more spiritual. But the second one.
I was going to say it was definitely a lot more spiritual because the midwife and everyone was, when she came out, it was just quiet, you know. Well, besides Scotty like screaming, but you didn't get what you get in a hospital with like heartbeat monitors and nurses rushing to and fro,
Yeah.
and all that stuff. And
Yeah, it's so loud.
so it was just very peaceful, and there is something spiritual about your own home too.
Yeah,
you know?
it was so peaceful.
And so it was just very, like, we set up this cute birthing wall for Malia that had
mood
like
lighting and
mood lighting and pictures of us as a family and Della and
motivation.
yeah, motivation. It was just it was there's very few things that make you feel closer to God than the process of birth, like being able to hold something so fresh from heaven, you know.
Yeah. Okay, well, do you have anything else you want to say?
No, I missed the meals.
Dude.
What? I thought we were being truthful, honest, heartfelt, giving them the real deal, the lowdown.
Okay, all right, you're getting out of hand.
No, I don't think I have anything else to say. It was amazing.
Okay, well, consider.
10 thumbs up.
Gosh. Anyways, yeah, that was our story about our home birth, and I say our, but I really mean mine.
I did a lot of work as well.
Yeah, I should count how many times you've said that in just the past 48 days.
I did a lot of work. But not near as much as this beautiful woman here. You killed it.
So, thanks for listening to No Textbook for Life. You can also find the video version and more on my YouTube channel, Modern American Mama. There'll be a lot of fun pictures from the birth and of little Miss Scotty. I'll see you next Friday, and congratulations. You've survived another episode of No Textbook for Life, and when I say you, I mean me. Surviving you.
He loves me.